නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු වරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස බුද්ධං ධම්මං සංඝං නමස්සාමි. Good morning, everybody. I am Venerable Medhaavi from Thapo Arana Forest Monastery, Padiyatalave, Sri Lanka. Over the past couple of years, we are trying to teach. We are trying to introduce to the people who believe in us and who supporting us about mindfulness practice and how it affect in our everybody's day-to-day life, and how it can change the way we think and the way we believe, and in that way how mindfulness become the proposed solutions to our day-to-day troubles. Even if you are a layperson who has a very busy with your works, or you can be a person who wanted to do meditation as well. So these both sides are totally acceptable, and I'm trying to give some ideas and some Dhamma thoughts about how to solve your troubles. So recently I got one information to talk about the definition of the dream according to the Buddhist philosophy. So today I'm trying to fulfill that dream, okay, that idea. So as a person, as a people, we all have certain kind of understanding and believing about the world. Most of the time, what we see is what we believe. Many of the time, when we see things, that's what we believe. When we hear, that's what we believe. Basically, we are trying to see something according to our beliefs. When we see things, we trying to connect with that seeing things with our intentions, with our ideas inside our head. The busy life, like this modern age, we usually using the technologies, and through that technology also we always learning, especially through the social media. When we see something, we are going to believe it. When we hear something, we are going to believe it. Okay? In normal life, if someone who has a lot of experience in this way, everybody have those kind of memories. What you have done throughout the day can come as a dream when you sleep. Okay? In normal life, or I could say daytime, you can think about it. You can talk about the things you wanted to talk. If something comes to your mind, perhaps you can talk about it. Perhaps you can make an art or sketch. That's how this whole social media is going right now, because you have the opportunity to create your thought as words. You can produce it. But at night, you don't have that kind of capability while you sleep. Am I correct? Okay. Thoughts can come to your mind, but you can't make like you normally do in day-to-day life. In daytime, make a text or sketch a dream, sketch a drawing. You cannot do that because you're asleep. But at that time, what happened is, if you see something or if you remember something, that mind process is always ongoing. Whether you are awake or asleep, that doesn't matter. So mind is always open. It never shut down actually. So in daily life, when things come to you, when things remember you, when things come to your head, you can think about it. You can think about it. But at night, you cannot do that. But mind will do for you. Mind do it for you actually. Yeah. It's like a free of charge. So my dear friends, dreams are generally things we had experienced before or things we wanted to experience in the future. This is basically past and the future. So if someone who sees something in the dream means they kind of have a connections. I mean, they have experience with that particular people or the places or the things. Or they want to experience with that people or in that situations in the future as well. Okay? But in reality, people mostly believe when you think like the people who passed away nearby you or in your family, if you see those peoples, if you see those relatives as dreams, most of the time people assume that is not good. Most of the time what we think is that they are coming to tell some kind of stories, or the dreams is a messenger. But in Buddhism, we don't believe that. Yeah. Because if someone die, they are not going to have the same face or the same face or the same structure or same image or the same clothes many of the time anyway. But in our dream, what we see is what we already had experience with them before. Okay? We are not seeing the people after death, how they're going to live, how they born as, okay, as a kid or as a child or as a god or as a deva or whoever. We don't see in that image or new images, but we see is the image we already have inside us. That is called memory. That's why Buddhism don't believe that dreams are not a messenger. It just remembering things inside your head. Sometimes you can remember the people who loved you, who take care of you, throughout the day. Maybe talk about them. Or maybe you can reflect, or maybe you can see the images of them in your mobile or whatever. So those kind of memory can come and go throughout the day because you are very busy. But at night, sometimes those memories can come to you, but that doesn't mean that your relatives are in very dangerous place, or they sad, or they be suffer, or something like that. No, that doesn't believe. But that doesn't mean that. But what belief is, the idea, the negative idea we have inside our head is, if you see someone who close by us, close to us, after they dead, after they die, or that means they are in not good shape, or things like that. Okay, but Buddha telling us one very special, what the definition for that in English is, but in generally, the vipassana means see things in a different angle. See things in a different angle. Okay? See things in a different angle. So, if we mindful about our dreams, first of all, we can see what kind of lens we are using to see those kind of dreams, or identify those dreams, what kind of lens we are using. The lens means, are we happy about it, or are we sad about it? That is where we can understand why these kind of sad feelings are inside us. It is not the cause of the dream or the people who what they are living after life, but the things we see through the lens. What kind of lens, what kind of detections, what kind of ideas has to see these kind of dreams or identify these dreams is always managing about the definition of the dreams of each of everybody. So what we can do is, when you see a dream, just try to, you can be mindful actually, even in your dream. If you see, maybe while you dream, you cannot identify that, or you can't be mindful, but after that, you can think about it, just reflect on it, and try to understand what kind of intentions behind or the before the dreams I had, or while I see it, what kind of intention do I had? Is it sad, or is it bad, or is it good, or is it okay? So if you see through this lens, through the mindfulness, you will understand the one very, very important idea or important understanding about yourself, that is, the dreams are just the imaginations which your mind is always or sometimes makes, but how you feel is, it is your choice. It is your choice. Okay? So as a Buddhist monk, what I believe is, if you see some of your relatives or someone who dies close to you, which means you have gratitude on them. You have a loving kindness on them. That is the only thing what I see. Yeah. Because many of the time, after people dies, people usually forget about them, don't even think about them. But if you see someone means, that doesn't mean they are in bad shape. Okay? Because what you see is not their afterlife body or afterlife structure or whoever they become, but what you see is the things you already remember, you experience in your life. So this means, my dear, if you see those kind of peoples, you always have that loving kindness on even the people already passed away. You have loving kindness on them. That is the only thing what I see as a Buddhist monk. Okay, if you see through that lens, it will be so easy to handle, isn't it? It will be so easy to grab. It will be so easy to remember your past or the people who already passed away. Because when you see in that directions, through that lens, that doesn't mean they are in a very bad place. But unfortunately, some cases, sometimes you see people like not in a good shape or something like that. Sometimes the reason of that is, I believe, I think, sometimes if you see some scary movie or something like a zombie, sometimes that images can replace. Okay, so these are the only things maybe. Yeah, people when they born as a human, they don't know much about the life or the things what they have to do or what they should do. So everybody is learning to live. Everybody is learning to live, and everybody is trying to be a better person than before or happy person than before. Sometimes they choose to be do good things, sometimes they choose to be a bad things. But that doesn't mean every time they are bad people. Okay, so people can make mistakes when they don't know whether it's good or bad. But after realize those things, they can change. But inside our head, we usually reflecting or remembering or try to talk about the bad things, what we done or what they done. So that's why when the dream also come to us, the people's already passed away came to us as a dream, we think most of the time, not every time, okay? Most of the time we think or we can think about, oh, they are not in a good shape. But if we try to change our vision using that technique called insight or vipassana, if we see things in one direction, in one direction, in that lens, in that directions, if it makes seeing things makes you uncomfortable or the trouble, you can change that position to see it. So then you will see in a different angle. So that about the dreams, very good or better angle, I believe, is that you have a gratitude on them. Okay, you are remembering the people already passed away. Many of the time in this world, people usually don't remember them as a gratitude. But I think in your mind, You are very friendly and kind, warm-hearted one. That's why you remember them. What you can do is, if you make more calmness in your life, if you learn how to be more calmness in your life, if you do very good things for the world, like offering dana or something, giving some food, something like that. So those kind of good things make you feel better. And you can wish. And you can wish after that, these kind of better feelings may have my relatives as well. Because when you do these kind of good things, you are happy, which means they will be happy as well, if they can take it. But what I really wanted to tell you, that dreams are not the communication way of past life. Okay? That is just your past memory is come to you. Sometimes if you have worry about them, sometimes if you have some kind of issues or something, okay, maybe I should have done something good to them or something like that. Those kind of things can come as a dream. That is only. Okay. So how you overcome is the key in here of the talk. If you be mindful about your dreams, if you're trying to remember, if you try to reflect what kind of dreams I had and what kind of lens I used to see that, or how I hold it, in which way, you will notice very, very important aspect about your life, what you believe. Sometimes that same patterns come to you all over again and again. That's why you are uncomfortable about it. But that is just a pattern. You can change it if you see that with mindfulness. Okay? That's what I really wanted to tell you today. Long time ago, I also had the same experience, and I also suffered a lot. Before, I don't know about the real idea or real things behind that door. But thanks to the Buddha, I wanted to say, in Dhamma it says the dreams are not the communication method with the past life or things like that, but it is the reflecting about your memory. It is the reflecting, or it is the remembering time, what you have done or what you want to be in the future. In normal life, like a daytime before we sleep, when thought come to our mind, in these days in modern life, we have social media all over everywhere. We can create that thoughts as a sketch or the takes or whatever we want. But the dream, it can do that. We cannot do that. So when we sleep, it cannot do that. So mind is always working, even when you sleep. So if you have those kind of memories, they will create a little bit of illusions or something like that. So it is not harm. It is not to fear about. Yeah. It is just you think about them in a friendly way. In a friendly way. It is the gratitude what you have. That is only I think, that is the only definition in Buddhism explain. We don't see these things, see these everything in a karmic mirror. No. It's one angle, yes, I believe it, but it is not always the only angle. Yeah. They can be a good shape. They can be healthy. Because in Buddhism, Buddha usually says, if someone dies, it's like a millisecond. It will take millisecond to born again. If someone who, before he died, if someone who learn how to act like human, live like human, think like human, they will be born again as a human anyway. Because that's what the structure is. But if someone who work as a deva or a god, yeah, they will be born like that. Why does every time we think if someone who does one very little bad thing, one little, not very, but one little bad thing, why we believe they always go to bad places? Maybe that's what normally we hear, but that's not true. That is not true. Okay? So next time when you see a dream, maybe you can be mindful about it, or after that, try to reflect on it. What kind of lens I use to see it? Then you will understand about the real definition of the see things and how you grab it or how you take it. And when you realized this is what I have done, or this is what I am seeing, or this is what I believe about the dreams, every time you can change it if it makes uncomfortable to you. That's it. On the other hand, when you see things and when you remember your relatives or the people who passed away as a dream, maybe you can do good things for them. Like, for example, like if they wanted to meditate, maybe they had not any chance to do that because of the busy schedule or something. Maybe you can take a time to do a little bit of meditation every day. Okay? And maybe they wanted to keep or protect some precepts. So you can do that. Maybe they wanted to do some donations or things like that. Maybe they did not have any chance to do that. But now you have chance to do that. So we can take these things as an opportunity to be a better person in your version. Because the dreams. Not trying to be more suffer inside your head even. No. Then later on, they will be disappear anyway. And I think sometimes you wish to see them even inside your head in the dream. Yeah. But they're gone. So that's why the living in the present moment is the very important time in our life, because in that time only, in the present moment only, we can be a good person, or we can do good things for us, for the world. As a person, as a people, I think we have very, very good capability if we understand who we really are. We can be a really good person. We can be a really good person to yourself, to your family, to where you work. Like that. And I think and I believe you already are, and I'm encouraging to do that. So do the same things again and again, more than before, because that is the better way. Okay? So In generally, what people usually believe is when they see the dreams, we usually talk about it as very bad things, because that is the only way they know how to explain. They know how to explain. That doesn't mean that is true. There are another angle too. Why we know that? Because of the insight or vipassana. But they're usually telling us, if you see something in one angle, when you see something in one angle, and if it makes you uncomfortable, so try to change your angle. So then you will see in a comfortable way. That is very easy. Okay? And in order to do that, just try to be mindful about what you are doing. Okay? I usually invite people to practice mindful throughout the day, at least for 5 minutes. It's okay. While you're working, maybe you, when you work or when you walk, you can mindful about how your steps on the floor, on anywhere. Okay, so when you walk, and when you talk, try to listen to your voice while you're talking. When you're walking, try to feel your body while you're doing it. Maybe you can't do that every time or 24/7, but you can maybe 5 minutes per hour. That is good enough. Maybe 1 minute per hour. That is good enough. Yeah. So in that moment, you will be happy with yourself, or you will understand about yourself. How am I talking? What kind of tone am I using? Okay? Why am I thinking in that way? That is called vipassana. In order to do that, you need to have calm in your mind. We call it samatha. Yes. If you have mindfulness, you have a concentration quality and the wisdom quality as well. That's why you realize, this is what happened. Okay, then this is what I need to do. That's it. You can be free on the spot. Okay? So, I'm very kindly inviting you to be mindful throughout the day, and try to use your, how I say, ayatana in Sinhala, your senses. Yeah. Try to use your senses, more senses, while you're working, while you're doing it. Like I said before, you can talk without listening, or you can talk with you listening. Okay? So if you wanted to practice that, I'm encouraging, when you go to the church, I think you are coming from Nepali, and when you go to your places to pray the gods or things like that, I think you have some kind of chanting. You're chanting while listening to it. Yeah. That's how you learn that you can enjoy your words. In our world, everybody having done something are doing things, but unfortunately they are not happy about it. What they believe is the happiness is somewhere else. Okay, after I do these things, or my work or my chores, I will go holiday on somewhere, or that's where I can be happy. But that is not true. You can be happy in that moment. If you be mindful enough, it will be much easier. Okay, so try to be mindful everywhere you are staying or you are working. and you will grab the sense of, am I happy about it or am I not happy about it? Why am I happy about it and why am I not happy about it? These everything you will be understand. And that's how you can manage yourself from the suffering to the happiness. That's what I really wanted to tell you today. Okay, I'm really glad I met you from Sandhya Manu, California. Okay, I'm really appreciate your contribution to our monastery, and it is really helpful. Sadhu Anumodana. Thank you very much. And today, 2016 June 13th, there are a couple of people who wanted to support us, especially Mrs. Ayushma Sestra devotedly undertaken the meritorious sponsorship of the 4 monastic requisites. We call it Sivpasaya at the Padiyatalave Bolankanda, Thapo. Thank you very much. And this noble act of generosity is performed with the scaled intentions of transferring many merits to the dearly departed Ganesh Ram Vidya, Nani Chori Vidya, Pramila Shrestha, Gopal Bahadur Sesta, Gayatri Vidya, and Tulsi Ram Vidya. And may this wholesome merit of the serving and supporting to the Mahasangha or the Buddha Sasana or to our monastery lead to the complete fulfillment of all of your right homes and noble aspirations. Okay, and we joyfully share these merits with all departed relatives. May they receive and rejoice in them with happy hearts. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May these great perfections of generosity, Dana Paramita, follow each of every one of you like an inseparable shadows until you realize the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. Okay, I have write down something, so I am not forget about it. By the infinite power and grace of the Triple Gem, may you be blessed with absolute physical and mental tranquility. Sadhu, sadhu. May you be free from suffering, free from illness, and filled with vibrant health. May all your wholesome thoughts flourish, bringing long-lasting peace and well-being, and serving as a powerful catalyst of your final liberations. Okay, so sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And we have another contributions from Australia, Mrs. Manet Kapuruge, and he wanted to remember, or she wanted to bless the late father K.D.S. Gunaratna and Nihal Aberatna, and bless to the sister Doreen and her son Nisal, and may your dreams come true as well, and these merits also we wanted to share these merits to the people already passed away in your side as well, and may they be happy and healthy in where they live right now. And DTY Chandrakanti, Mrs. DTY Chandrakanti from Madhara is supporting us to bless everybody, the idea of blessed everybody. And that idea or that thoughts also, dreams that also come through, or we wanted to share these merits to everybody. And I wanted to give my blessings and appreciation to Mrs. DTY Chandrakanti and Manel Kapuruge from Australia and Ayushma Sestra from USA to make your life much easier and happier, not only you and your family members and everybody. being in good health and good conditions, and I'm sharing my happiness to everybody, to supporting us and contribute us. And may these good feelings come to you as well, and make your life much easier. And I have a couple of comments here. That once and may you have the strength and health to continue sharing the beautiful Dharma with us. Thank you. If you are alive in the present moment, live in the present moment, no dreams at night. Well, yeah, it is truth, but not 100% though, because you remember after Buddha realization of the Nibbana, or when he got enlightened, or before that, he had 4 dreams, right? He had 4 dreams. So, which means, so he basically stayed every time with mindfulness more than any of us, but he also had dreams. But what I believe is, what I think is, the mindful person has the attention called bare attention. In Sinhala, I talk about it. I trying to represent it at apakshapati nirikshana. So he or she do not get any bad feelings or either good feelings about that dreams or things, but just observe, which means you can be mindful even when you sleep. Even when you sleep. Yes. Okay. So we cannot shut down our mind actually. Yeah. And we can understand how it going. Many of the time, many meditators have said this experience. They have more dreams than before after they start to meditate. They like complaining about it actually. But the thing is, now they can more sensitive about their dreams, or they can more close to their sleep ever than before. That is the true story. Yeah, I'm not disagree, but this is the idea. Okay. Again, he has said, if you are living the present moment, no dreams for future. Yeah, well, you don't have to think about like daydreams. Yeah, no, you don't have to. But if you wanted to plan about your future or things like that, you can do it with intention. You can do it with intention. Okay. It's not like normally people are like just think about it like that. No. You can think about it with intentions. Like for example, before I make this kuti, I did not had any lot of money, so I had money for only make one kuti, but I need 2. So I try to think about it. I planned how I make 2 kuti or 2 houses with a very little amount of money. Okay, so I planned everything inside my head before I do it. How I do it, we very not like a cheap way, but how I manage it. So before I have done those kind of activity inside my head, I was able to make this kuti as a actually little bit of beautiful one, and it did not get any more money, but I have to work on that lot. It's another story. So like that, you can take a time to think about your future, or what is your plans are. In Buddhism, thinking, Buddha usually don't tell us thinking is not allowed for Buddhists. That is not true. We can think about it, but with intention, with knowing about it. Okay? Alright, Namo Buddhaya, sadhu sadhu. Yes, indeed. And sadhu sadhu, sadhu sadhu, I'm so happy. Thanks. Alright. If you live in the present moment, the dreams will automatically... So, well, if you living in the present moment, you will get more close to your dreams than before. Many of the people are not close to the present moment, but if someone who has mindfulness, who living in the present moment, they know how to close to that moment. Okay, so that means present moment isn't the switch to shut down your mind. Okay, but it is the lens, but it is the eye, but it is the... In Buddhism, Buddha usually says Dorotu Palakya. It is a gardener. It is a guarder. Guarder? It is a security person who is standing on the doorstep. That is only what he do. Okay? So, I think when you're practicing mindfulness, many ideas can come, and your idea also correct in some level, but there are deeper level as well. Okay, but there are deeper level as well, because Buddha usually giving the simile to the Nibbana called ocean. It is not a pond, or it is not a tank, or it is not at least a fish tank. But what we believe is it looks like a fish tank, because that is we know. Alright, we think this has the end, but it is not in Buddhism. It can go more deeper than you realized before. You're welcome. So, I'm Venerable Medhaavi, and I would like to invite you to all come to our Dhamma talks tomorrow as well. Well, tomorrow perhaps in the evening, not in the morning, because I have another things to do here, so that's why. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment us or contact us even. And I hope you are in good shape and good health. And I have very little knowledge of English actually. I never learned it before. Thanks to the YouTube, after I ordained, now I can talk in English. So maybe when I present my talk, sometimes I use the same words over and over again, and if it make you uncomfortable, or now these days people saying like a boring, I'm so sorry about it. Okay, but I'm trying to do my best. Okay, so thank you for listening, and see you next time. Jinam Vandam Gautama.